talk about Boris Becker being such a good indoor player. His only title of '95 came indoors earlier this year in Marseille. Wimbledon, of course, he lost to Sampras in Monte Carlo. He lost to Thomas Muster. And is still without a clay court title in his long, illustrious career. Nice bit of work there.
Boris Becker coming to the net with success. This is a very difficult approach to the Sampras forehand, but Becker able to close off the passing shot with a solid forehand volley. Sampras just hanging that passing shot a little too high for Becker. Watch Becker charge here. We've seen throughout the week a lot of stares at the linesman and talking to the umpire.
From Becker, you mean? Not from Pete.
Never from Pete.
Becker was especially edgy in his match against Krajicek 2 rounds ago. That whole first set, he was screaming and barking and talking in German. Again, he knew that win would get him to Frankfurt. An important thing for a German to be playing there. Michael Stieg, after rolling over his ankle last week, is out of the running and is probably out of the rest of '95. Had Becker not qualified for the IBM ATP Tour World Championships, it would really have affected the success of the World Championships in Frankfurt. The ratings went up, Luke, over 30% last year, the TV ratings, because Becker qualified. The year before, he just missed. 30 all.
The game of tennis really needs a Boris Becker to be on the court playing. The same with Pete Sampras. Need him out there when it really counts in the finals.
Andre Agassi.
Andre Agassi.
More than anyone, he makes the ratings bounce in the U.S. And hopefully he will be fit for play in Frankfurt and for the U.S. in Davis Cup. It's had a long year. Couldn't handle that one. Too much angle. And now game point for Sampras.
That's a big shot by Pete Sampras. After being in early control of this set, Boris Becker starting to lean on Pete Sampras, coming to the net a little bit more with success.
Stayed in.
Pete Sampras hitting a solid forehand, but look at this. Becker deciding to pull the trigger on this one down the line. And having it land right on.
Avantage, Sampras.
Sampras holds. On serve in set 1. The Louvre houses some of the great art treasures in all the world. There's over 300,000 works within those glorious walls. These two players, Pete Sampras, Boris Becker, trying to create a little art themselves. About 20 minutes ago, Boris Becker was 1 point from being down love 4, and now things are as even as they can be. Becker serving at 4-5.
Boris Becker has really gotten himself back into this set with a balanced attack. Starting to serve a little bit better and really pull the trigger on some big ground strokes and landing some severe strikes.
And this match is to his
Sampras.
pace now, isn't it, Luke? You know, all this time he takes in between points, all the waiting around. This is just how he wants it to be going. Nice heat from Pete. Love 30.
0-1.
Pete Sampras showing his speed and quickness and also the ability to pass. For such an offensive player, he can counterpunch with the best of them. Off of that forehand side, he has all the options. Boris Becker, one of the few players in the world that can really punch some holes into the Sampras armor. Sampras usually in control, using his weight against his opponent. Becker now strong enough to hit some balls at him. There's Sampras looking. That's the most you're going to get from him.
He's hoping to get an out call on this serve. And he left home early. Becker made him pay. 30 all. They're both dragging each other out wide on that forehand side, trying to take control of the middle of the court. Nice big one there for Becker. Game point for him. Got him.
Again, Pete Sampras showing us that he likes that backhand pass down the line. Rolling the ball at the Becker feet, forcing this type of passing shot. Bam! That weak half volley. But again, he's staying low, just not enough punch.
Avantage Becker. Becker.
Ace number 5 secures the game, and now even at 5. Tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, it's the Dolphins going up against the San Diego Chargers in San Diego. Dan Marino leading the Dolphins, coming off injury. Going up against the defense on the Chargers side by Junior Seau. That's tonight at 8 on ESPN. Double fault, that one wide. So 15 all. Again, wanted to punish that second ball.
And he's getting a lot of them. Pete Sampras only serving at 40% first serves. So that will change, but in the meantime, Becker has a tremendous opportunity to take some second serves, take some chances.
These second serves count. By the way, Becker is also under 50% serving. He's at 48. That's why the quality of these second serves is so important. Oh, yeah.
Such a clean forehand. Think of an explosive forehand like Andre Agassi, Jim Courier. Pete Sampras also has an explosive forehand, but he drives through the ball. Not as much brush with topspin like these Courier or the Agassis. Great drive.
Got it.
Sampras.
That goes down as Pete Sampras' 5th ace. Becker's not too happy about that. When Boris Becker took this title for the first time, he was just a kid, 18 years old, and they've been showing a lot of old video of the past 10 years here. Luke Jensen, he looks so different. He not only was his hair a lot longer and his face a lot younger and fresher, but he smiled so much more. You were saying earlier today, this guy like never smiles anymore. He's so grave and serious. I kind of miss seeing his teeth.
Being the center of the game of tennis for over 10 years is Barbara Becker. The tour has hardened this man into a real workhorse. He's not the young, fresh kid, new kid on the block type of feel.
I do like how seriously he continues to take his tennis. Don't get me wrong. I think it's great that, I mean, he was in the running to win Wimbledon this year. He's gotten his ranking back up to 5.
But remember, it's still a job for Boris Becker. And at first, when you win Paris for the first time, when you're winning your first Wimbledons and U.S. Opens, it's fun. But when you go to work every single day the way he does, how many times can you come to the Paris Open and enjoy it? It's the same place for the last 10 years. There's only so many times you can go to the Eiffel Tower and the Louvre. Boris Becker having a good service game. Looking like a tiebreaker here in this first set. See, this time Pete hanging this return up for smashing Boris Becker. Fabrice Santoro, who beat Pete Sampras at the Italian Open this year, a great French clay court player, 2 hands off of both sides, a speed demon.
Pete Sampras had won the Italian Open the year before over Becker. That's a beautiful looking game to draw this thing to 6-all tie break time.